big thing we have to learn is how to put people away. We were in control of that game, and we had opportunities to, essentially end the game. And we didn't take advantage of those opportunities, and we let them stick around. And they're a very good football team that, when given the opportunity, they got opportunities to make big plays, and they made them when we didn't. So I don't think it was just me who learned. I think our team learned, like, in those opportunities, we got to take advantage of them. And we can end that game and not have the ending that we had.
Andrew, you're now 2 games into the season here. What can you tell us about the Harvard football team this year?
Yeah, these guys work extremely hard. They prepare the right way, and they're learning how to continue to focus when tired. And that's something that, I think a lot of people have trouble with, being so mentally tough enough that you can focus when you're tired. And that definitely showed up on Saturday as something that we need to continue to grow with. But the work ethic and the detail and the preparation are there for us to be successful, and we have a lot of talent.
Tonight, and I'm sure it's not going to be taken lightly after Brown, UNH Durham. How do you approach the University of New Hampshire?
Yeah, they're a very, very talented team. They're top 20 in the FCS rankings. And it's all 3 phases that are really good. Their special teams is really schematically challenging, and they play really hard, and they have athletic, fast guys out there. Offensively, they have a transfer quarterback who's coming and has looked better every single week and is putting up, really good statistics. And defensively, they have 2 defensive ends who are All-Americans at different points in their career, played a lot of football. So this is a really big challenge for us. This is probably the most talent we've seen so far this year.
Really? Wow.
Coach, talk to us about what do you think the Ivy League represents this year? It's always been a competitive league, year in and year out. How do you view the league?
Yeah, there's a ton of parity in the Ivy League. Just off of last week, you saw that with what happened with us and Brown and the Yale and Cornell game where Cornell beat Yale. The skill level is very, very even. So those little details make a big difference in a lot of games, which we saw in our game. And that it just means every week we got to make sure we're preparing in the way to allow ourselves the best chance to be 1-0.
Coach, 30 seconds. A Friday night game has got to be different than Saturday. What are the players like Friday night versus resting, shall we say, into Saturday?
Yeah, we have guys that have class right up to our pregame meal. So normally you wake up and your mind's on that game the entirety of the day.
Not Friday night.
Not Friday night. They got classes that they're going to, and we talked about it last night. You got to be able to flip the switch once you get to that pregame meal.